Well, all right, all right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Hot Seat Automotive Podcast. It's your buddy CJ here. And tonight, we're talking about all things automotive industry, car guy stuff, all the things that real automotive enthusiasts love talking about. We got that real gearhead talk. Come on, this is the place to be for that real gearhead talk. We say it all the time. Welcome back to all my subscribers. You know I love and appreciate each and every one of you. I am so grateful to you. Thank you so much. If you're new, give me a like and subscribe. Check out the channel. If you're an automotive enthusiast, if you're a car guy, a car girl, we talk about all the stuff you love. Right here at Hot Seat Automotive Podcast, we're talking about exotic cars and classic cars, muscle cars, what's going on in the automotive industry, automotive events, road trips, motorsports, rallies, you name it. That's what we're all about. Your buddy CJ bringing you all that good, fun content. Love the interaction. Keep it going. Keep those comments, the feedback coming. Guys, check me out on Hot Seat Gearheads on Instagram. You know we have a lot of fun on the gram. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. And tonight, we got a fun episode. We going head to head. We got an SUV showdown tonight. Modern, high-tech, performance SUV showdown right here. Who's up? You ready? We got the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon coming out in 2025 as an all-EV, going to be known as the G580. Are you kidding me? So we're going to pit that new Mercedes G-Wagon electrified against the Lamborghini Urus SE, which is a plug-in hybrid version of the super popular exotic Lamborghini Urus performance SUV. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this, guys, because you know here on Hot Seat Automotive Podcast, we love looking at these things together. So, guys, right off the bat, welcome to the new era, right? I mean, we've got two statement vehicles, Mercedes G-Wagon and the Lamborghini Urus. This is not for your average Ford Explorer or Jeep Grand Cherokee driver, okay? This is not for your BMW X5 driver. These are extreme, statement-oriented, super premium SUVs, okay? Both with an edge to them. The Lamborghini Urus, that performance, that supercar look and feel, all those styling cues, big performance for what it is in an SUV, okay? Dare I say, all of the design attributes of a supercar, of a super sports car in an SUV with a twin-turbo V8 all-wheel drive and plenty of room for your groceries. In the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, these things have been out for about 40 years now. They've been out for decades, and they've evolved many generations, okay, and many special editions, you know. But this thing is edgy in a whole different way. First of all, that boxy, squared-off shape, so iconic. You will never mistake a G-Wagon for anything else. For years, if you go out to the West Coast, if you go out to Los Angeles, you know, these are statement vehicles. You've been seeing families and moms driving these things forever. You know, there's a lot of utility there. Not as much utility probably as, let's say, a full-size Chevrolet Suburban, just a bit more practical. This thing has the practicality, has the performance, but it's got that edge. You don't buy a G-Wagon because it's the most comfortable, practical, cost-effective, economic SUV, okay? You buy this to be top of the heap, okay, premium Mercedes-Benz product, okay, with all the trimmings, but you also have that extreme off-road heritage. Don't forget, you know, the G-Wagon, we won't go into the full history on this episode, but the original design of the G-Wagon has a military scope to it, okay, and a utility scope to it. So you still have sort of, it's the melding of the utility world with the premium world, with a brand, you know, a fashion statement brand, if you will, like Mercedes-Benz, and all the things that goes along with driving a Benz. That's why you buy a G-Wagon, okay? So we're talking about two premium, high performance in different ways, high performance, premium, extreme SUVs. In the new generation, though, we're adding a twist. We're going all EV with the G580, okay? And we're adding a hybrid drive, plug-in hybrid with the Lamborghini Urus SE. So before we get into sort of the showdown aspect, let's go ahead and look at the particulars for each vehicle. And at the end of this, I promise you, I'm going to tell you which one your buddy CJ is rocking with. Might surprise you. You know, I'm going to give you that a bit of a cheat there and let you know that my answer might surprise you. So the 2025 Mercedes-Benz G580. We're talking about a fully electrified G-Wagon. What do we think about that? Guys, it's got that same boxy shape as G-Wagons for decades, right? Looks very familiar. It's what's under the hood. It's what's powering this beast that sets it apart. We're talking about 4 electric motors, okay? Each wheel has its own electric motor and its own transmission. This thing also has a virtual differential lock feature, so giving you that performance off-road, not in the old school sense, but leveraging, the advanced drive system, the advanced EV drive system to give you the equivalent of differential locking. All you off-roaders know what I'm talking about. This is a 3-ton vehicle. We're talking about 579 horsepower and about 859 foot-pounds of torque. That's a lot of torque, right? 0 to 60 in about 4.6 seconds. It's got a 116 kilowatt battery. You expect to have a range of somewhere around 240 miles in this EV G-Wagon. It's got some other aesthetics and appearance updates. It's got enhanced aero, so on and so forth. But look, what do I think? I think one of the problems with this new EV G-Wagon is I'm not sure that your average G-Wagon buyer is also an EV buyer right now. There's a small segment of society that can afford to buy a new G-Wagon, and a smaller segment of that population that desire a full EV. So Mercedes-Benz, I don't know how many of these are going to be sold over the next 36 months, 48 months. It'll be interesting to see. If I had to make a prediction, I'd say this may not be a commercial success. We will see. I think Mercedes-Benz has placed some significant big bets on EV, and it hasn't paid out in a positive manner for them yet. I think it's almost a case study recently over the past few years. The predictions that Mercedes-Benz made a number of years ago about how many EVs they'd be selling, yeah, they missed all of them, okay? And they had to walk them back. A lot of these Mercedes-Benz EVs are sitting on the lot. Demand for EVs has gone down significantly in the context of rising growth. The demand curve is just not hockey sticking up. In fact, it's flattened at best. And what you're talking about here is a super premium SUV product that will only be bought by a small segment of the consumer market anyway. And then you further fragment that by coming out with a full EV version. Not sure how successful this vehicle is going to be, folks. Again, it certainly still is a statement vehicle. Hell, it's probably even more of a statement vehicle, okay, in that EV form. We'll see, though. I don't think Mercedes-Benz has released pricing for this 2025 G580, but I was doing a little bit of searching and research, guys. And, I mean, a new 2024 G-Wagon, you're looking at anywhere from 160, 180. If you want a G63 AMG, whatever, you're looking at 210, 215. So it's a $200,000 vehicle is what I expect. Might they come out and introduce them around 170 with options, 165? Yeah, but I got to say, the average sweet spot is probably going to be between 165 and 205 would be my guesstimate. And again, a super premium vehicle, small segment of the consumer market that will even be able to buy one of these, small segment that will desire a full EV SUV like this. So we'll see. So that's a little bit about that Mercedes-Benz electric G-Wagon coming in 2025. Let me know what you guys think. Now, before I give you my choice, we got to look at the other contender. Guys, what are we talking about here? You having fun? Leave me comments. Let me know what you think about the electric G-Wagon. Guys, check this out. Lamborghini Urus SUV. It's been around since 2018, but what do we got coming now? It's a plug-in hybrid version. We're talking about 800 combined horsepower for the plug-in hybrid Lamborghini Urus. That rear battery is above the rear diff. Okay, 0 to 60 in a respectable 3.4 seconds for a vehicle of this size with this much utility. You know, it's an SUV. That's significant performance, guys. In full EV mode, the Urus will do about 37 miles in range and it'll do up to 80 miles per hour. So kind of cool. You can cruise around town in your Lamborghini Urus supercar SUV, the Lamborghini Urus SE, okay? And you can do it in whisper mode, in EV mode. Wow, that's kind of cool, I think. The V8's giving you 620 horsepower. It's that same V8 platform that's used in the other Urus models, okay? It's a twin-turbo V8, 620 horsepower. The electric motor's giving you another 192 horsepower. You're topping out at about 194 miles per hour. The starting price of the Lamborghini Urus EV is going to be $258,000. So it's a $250,000 SUV, you know, higher starting price than the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon by far, but very different, right? You're talking about a supercar brand and a supercar company making an SUV as opposed to the Mercedes-Benz. It's really not in the same class, but it's still, I claim, an interesting comparison, okay? The Lamborghini Urus SE is just faster than the Urus S. It's got, in addition to the hybrid drive system, it's also got some interesting design updates from an appearance standpoint, some of the aero, the headlights, so on and so forth. So there will be other updates to this vehicle, not just the drive system. You know, the one thing I'll say about the Lamborghini Urus SE, similar to what we just said, guys, when we were talking about the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon EV, so there is a small segment of the population, okay, who can afford to spend $250,000 on an SUV. Real talk. This is a supercar company's SUV. Let's call it what it is, okay? So out of that population, extremely small population of buyers, how many of those are going to opt for a hybrid versus a traditional internal combustion engine versus, you know, the performance upgrade model, the Performante, what have you? You know, I don't know. I know as I look at this and I think about it, I say Urus is an interesting vehicle. If I'm in the market for a super premium, high performance, top of the line SUV, aggressive in your face type of SUV, not as much of a luxury SUV, but a super performance oriented SUV. Okay. Do I want to be bothered with worrying about that hybrid drive? How long am I going to keep the vehicle? You know, I think these Uruses are known to be a pretty sound and solid platform. They've got a pretty good reputation based on my knowledge and awareness and folks I talk to who have these. Okay. You introduce that hybrid drive. How's it going to be? How's it going to hold up? Okay. You know, would I want to own one of these outside of warranty? Probably not. Okay. We're still in the early era, if you will, of EV and hybrid drive. So it's almost at odds, right? It's kind of funny. And guys, let's take a look at another shot here of the Lamborghini Urus SE. You know, here they are coming off the line. They're coming. The Lamborghini Urus SE plug-in hybrid. They're coming. And a really interesting vehicle, super high-tech, high-performance, supercar SUV, if you will. One way to look at it. You know, $250,000 starting point to get one of these. You got 800 horsepower, yes, big performance. You know, it's almost at odds in many ways. Your typical buyer of a super high-performance car or a super high-performance SUV, those are probably not your typical EV or hybrid buyers. These are not Prius buyers. None of your former Prius buyers are going to run out and buy a Urus SE hybrid. None of your former Prius buyers are going to run out and buy a Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon all electric at $180,000 or $200,000. It's just a different market, and then it's a different segment within the SUV market. Okay, it's a segment within a segment. So I claim, listen, in the brave new era, okay, in the brave new world of the push towards EV and hybrid and alternative fuels and alternative platforms, okay, and reducing our dependence on fossil fuels and reducing carbon emissions. Listen, Lamborghini and Mercedes-Benz probably have to do this. I get it. They probably have to do this. I think Mercedes-Benz has been out there. They've been sort of on the bleeding edge, pushing real hard. Let's go ahead and take another look, guys, together at those G-Wagons, those electric G-Wagons. Look at them. Here they are, Mercedes-Benz fully electric G-Wagons. Kind of crazy, right? Kind of crazy. The G-Wagon is one of the ultimate statement SUVs. When you want to say super premium, high-end, luxury brand SUV with that military edge, that utility edge, that boxy styling, it's kind of melding the best of all of those worlds. Now this vehicle is not for everybody. I'll be candid with you. I have never been a big fan of the G-Wagon. I like, for example, the GL63s. I had one of those, the AMG SUV, but it was a bit more smooth and curvy. It still had the twin turbo V8. But, when I look at the G-Wagons, those boxy G-Wagons, guys, just not for me. But these are statement vehicles, okay? And your typical buyer of these, I'll say it again. Okay, you're going all in, Mercedes-Benz. You're pushing all your chips, bleeding edge. Mercedes-Benz is bleeding edge of EV adoption, and their EVs are sitting on the lot. Mercedes-Benz has hemorrhaged with these EVs, okay? It's well documented. The predictions that Mercedes-Benz made a number of years ago for how many EVs they would sell, yeah, they missed all of them. They missed basically all of their metrics, and they had to walk them back. Look into it. So is the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon going to be a success? They've been selling these things for 40 years. Okay, Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon is big time successful. Okay, it's iconic. It is a statement premium SUV in every sense of the word. It is a luxury product from a luxury brand. Utility, okay, off-road capability, all that edge to it. The people who are going to buy this, the point I'm trying to make, are not your former Prius buyers. Okay? People who are in a Tesla Model X are probably, or a Model Y, are not going to jump into a G-Wagon at $200,000. I just don't see it. Okay? It's just a different segment. Tesla's no longer a luxury product. Tesla was luxury probably like 2012 when they came out with the S, whatever. Yeah, 2024, Tesla is not a luxury product. So how many Tesla owners, early adopters, Model Ys, Model Xs, are going to step into a Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon full EV? Not many. That's my prediction, okay? So Mercedes-Benz, I don't know. I understand that to some extent, guys, and let's put them both head to head, and then let's make our call, guys, together on the winner here. I don't know. I'll say it again, guys. I understand that Mercedes-Benz and Lamborghini have to play their part in a contribution towards global regulation and industry trends around looking at EV, around hybrid drives, alternative fuels, reduced carbon emissions, all of those things. What do I think between these two? Number one, Mercedes-Benz already overextended themselves. Mercedes-Benz has way overextended themselves, overcommitting to EV, and it's not working out too well. My prediction is that this all EV G-Wagon is going to follow along that same trend. Okay, who's going to spend $180,000, $200,000 on an all EV G-Wagon? It's probably not going to happen, and I don't think I'd buy one. Okay, I'd go for a nice V8 G-Wagon if I was going to buy a G-Wagon. Okay, if I had to pick between these two, I'd go with the Lamborghini Urus. It's not because I'm a Lamborghini guy per se. Look, I'm not ready to go full EV for my primary SUV. I'll say that. How do you like that? That's the one way I look at it. Two, the Lamborghini's got better performance. So if I want full utility in an SUV, there may be more utility in that G-Wagon, arguably. I don't know. Having said that, if I'm really focused on utility, I'm not buying either one of these vehicles. I'm going with a Chevy Suburban. I'm going with, I might even go with a BMW X5 over either one of these two. Just more practical, better as a daily, more utility. Okay? Having said that, the styling, that supercar styling, that exotic car styling that you get with the Urus, it definitely attracts me more. And it's got the twin turbo V8. You've got the best of an EV mode with 37 miles of range, up to 80 miles an hour. You can whisper around town in that Lamborghini Urus. And then you can open up the taps and fire up the V8 and get the best of both worlds, 800 horsepower. So I think the Lamborghini Urus, hands down, would be more fun to own and drive and will put a smile on your face. The G-Wagon is still more of a, at the country club or at the, out in Los Angeles, pulling up in front of the restaurant or down in Miami Beach. It's a statement vehicle. Don't get me wrong. Okay. It really is. But it's probably not going to put the smile on your face as a performance enthusiast the way the Urus will. Now, again, if you're into that off-road military edge combined with a luxury brand, the G-Wagon might be more for you, but would you buy an electric G-Wagon? I wouldn't at this point. That's just me. Looking again at the Urus, it's $250,000 entry point for the hybrid. It's a lot of money. So you're paying more for the Lamborghini Urus, but you're getting a lot more. You're getting supercar styling and performance right there, coupled with your SUV. So guys, those are a few of my thoughts on these two. I'm going to give the edge and the nod to the Lamborghini Urus. Who are you giving the nod to? Are you a Mercedes-Benz fan? You ready to go all EV with your G-Wagon? I don't know if I am. I'm a little skeptical, although I think it's interesting. I'm not a hater of EVs. It's just not for me in this case. I'm going Lamborghini Urus SE hybrid. But in all honesty, if I was buying a Urus, I wouldn't buy the hybrid. I would not buy the hybrid today. If I was buying a Lamborghini Urus, why would I? There's just, it's a G-Whiz thing. Okay, yeah, it's 800 horsepower, but I don't know. I'd probably go with the normal internal combustion engine with that twin turbo V8. And heck, you're just going to have a blast with that vehicle. It's going to cost you, though. Guys, I wanted to come on here tonight and talk about these two interesting high-tech SUVs. I wanted to put them head-to-head. I wanted to tell you what I thought, but more importantly, I want to hear from you. What do you guys think? Which one you rocking with? Mercedes-Benz electric G-Wagon for 2025? This thing's been around for decades. Or the Lamborghini Urus plug-in hybrid coming out. Listen, it's going to be $250,000, brand new. Okay? Would you go with the plug-in hybrid Lamborghini Urus? The choice is yours. Your buddy CJ laid it all out for you. Guys, leave me those comments. Give me a like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about these two high-tech modern SUVs. Guys, I'll speak to you on the next one. Till then, peace.